All right, squad, in today's video, we're gonna implement full text search using the PG search gem. So I'll give you a quick look at what that looks like. Inside of our listing models and our place models, we're gonna add the PG search model here. We're gonna have a search scope with search listings. We're gonna weight the title and the description, and then we're gonna set up the indexes, etc. And then inside the app, we're gonna be able to just type in here, Gerringong, and hit enter, and then we're gonna get our results. So we've got two listings and a place over here, right? So we're gonna combine those results and just show them there. We're gonna go down a few rabbit holes and check out some of the pros and cons of this gem. So let's jump in. All right, so today we're gonna try adding in some full text search so we can use this guy here. Now we could use I like, which is pretty standard, but it's not that flexible. So what we're gonna go with something is a full text search. So we're going to use the PG search gem here. And this is my first time trying it out. So let's go, we're gonna all learn together. And then we're going to use the little extension, the 2TS vector, so we can run this. But we do need to add an index to our column. But what we can do first is try and actually just run this in our DB here and then just see how the results look. All right, that looks good there. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna use 2TS vector English, and then we're gonna just convert the string into a vector, right? And then we're gonna get this. So we're gonna get look 1, write for word 5. Basically, that's the sentence broken down, right? So look, write, word there. And it changes, and that's kind of like the things it's gonna try and match on. Now if we had something like this, one of our descriptions, and put it in there, you'll see it'll break it down into breath tuck, house, ocean, panorama, surround and uninterrupt, and view. So it's broken it down to that, okay? So that's the first piece of the puzzle there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna compare this vector, which is the broken down there, to, I'm gonna just I'll put it on the different line here, to TS query, which is in English, and we're gonna look for the word ocean. And then you're gonna get true, right? So whatever our search term is, so if we went osh, nothing. Okay, so it uses the full word there, ocean is a match. Interesting that it doesn't do that, but we'll get to that. Now the next cool thing about this is we can use the TS rank. So we grab this here, we can go select TS rank, and it's basically how well does this thing rank compared to this. So what we do here is we chuck a comma between these guys. Let's put on a new line here. And then we just go here, and then let's see what it says. We got a 0, but if we change it to ocean, it's got a 0.06 ranking. That's a match. If we do ocean views, what happened? Did it crash? Yep. So it doesn't handle that for some reason. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna run this little query here. So we're gonna go from a listing, we're looking for the ID and the title, and then we're gonna rank the title and then also the description here to English, and what we're gonna search is ocean. And then we're gonna say from listings, and then we're gonna say title and description, and then here's the ocean here. So we're saying where any of these two matches this term here, okay? And we're gonna get the rank. Okay, so you can see that both of these have the same rank, which is interesting. Do they both possibly have the word ocean in them? That'd be quite funny. Yep, there's an ocean and here's an ocean. So it's picked up those two listings right there. I wonder why this breaks though. Syntax error. Doesn't like that. But they are using a double up in this one. So I wonder why. Okay, so if you use the and symbol there, it does work, and it's getting a better rank there as well, because it has both do these both have ocean views of the ocean and ocean views. So you can already see how this works, the full text search works versus a normal I like query, right? An I like query wouldn't match unless you just had the word ocean. And if you had ocean views, it would only actually match the first one that actually had ocean views. But here we got views of the ocean. So we want both those to appear because they're actually the same thing in English. They're just being put in different order. So this is very interesting. And you can also see Eleanor's got a 0.099, and then Dovecote's got a 97. And it's because Dovecode has views of the ocean and Eleonora has ocean views. So that ranks higher. So that'll return higher up because it's a closer match. So very cool, very important, very interesting. Just learning about this. So let's keep going. I also want to see how it would work if we actually just change this to like Dovecode, like 100% match, and see what our score is, right? 0.07, which is interesting because the title is an exact match there. So anyway, that looks, it's still matched it there. So if we're returning these results, we would have returned this one anyway because it was the only one. Oh, and there's also something really cool you can do here that I'm just seeing. You can actually give different weights to different columns. So if you're searching a title, we can give more weights. If it matches something like Dovecode in the title, weight that higher than if it's in the description. So that's really cool. But what we're going to do now is we're going to add the PG search gem to our actual project. Okay, so in luxury stays, the repo that we got here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to close off the console here, and then we're going to go bundle, add, PG_search. So key thing when always adding dependencies, one, make sure you really need them because you're going to have to maintain them. And then also two, make sure that they are actually in active maintenance, right? So you can see here that I like to jump in here and see like when were the last updates made, last month, 4 months, 2 months, 4 months, 4 years, and then check how many issues they have. So there's a few issues here, but imagine I saw it was used by 15,000 different people. So obviously that's going to happen. And then just check the change log, right? So just see when the last version, so this was released 4 months ago, 2.3, and they dropped Ruby 2.6, 2.7. So they're quite in active development. You can see Ruby 3.2 and 3.3, which is relatively recent at this time of recording. So do that before adding gems. We're going to add this one, done a bit of research already. So we're going to chuck that in. There we go. We've got PG search now. Let's go and see how we use it. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump into our models, and then we're going to add it to the things we want to be able to search. So primarily right now we want to do listings. So we're going to add in a few things here in this model. So what we're going to do now is over here, we're going to, I don't know if this is the best place, but I've never added it before, but like the PG search scope. So what we're going to do here is we're going to say search listing, and then we're going to say against the title and the description using T search, and the dictionary is English, right? So this is just telling me to go to double quotes, which is fine. Yeah, I probably would do this as well for formatting, just so it matches. And then, okay, it doesn't want that. So now we're going to search the listing, and we're going to have a little scope on our model. So what we're going to do, we can test this out. Let's open up Rails C here, our old friend, and we're going to go listing.search listing, and then let's just try ocean. Let's see if this works already out of the box. There we go. Now we're getting 2 listings here. We're getting Dovecode first and then Eleonora here. And you can see it's done all the PG search stuff for us. 2 tiers query, 2 tiers vector, all the good stuff happening right there. Excellent. So we're actually getting some results. Right, to add that weighting that I was talking about, so like we think titles are really the highest weighting. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have A and B. So instead of having this line here, we're going to now say against title, and we're going to give that the A and then description B. So B, lower rating and ranking. Let's run this again and see if our results change. They shouldn't, but we got Dovecode and there. So if we add now ocean view, we can see Eleonora comes up first and then Dovecode second, because remember we saw views of the ocean for Dovecode. So already this is a very powerful search for us. Now, if we were to, like, where else could we put, maybe let's try and add inside of Eleonora, we can say, we're going to say close to Dovecode, the famous Dovecode property. Okay, we're going to just chuck that in there now. Now let's do a little title search for Dovecode itself and see how this plays out. Dovecode. So you can see that this one's come up number 1, and then Eleonora is still coming 2, even though it has Dovecode in it. What would be interesting too would be go each do listing, and then we're going to see if we can get listing dot, I'll just see what the value actually is. It doesn't look like you can actually grab the ranking out of here, but you can see it down here. So it's ordered by this PG search, and this is a unique columns. I don't think we're about to grab that, but you can see it here, the rank. So it's ordering by rank. So that's very cool. All right, so now what we need to also do is we need to see how long these queries take to perform. So if we just copy this, we'll grab this one here and just run it in dev and see if it works. Limit 11. So we've got this. So it takes 5 milliseconds, which is pretty quick, but we have a very small database. What we will need to do is add a index to be able to make sure that these columns are indexed so that we can actually fetch this as fast as possible. So now this could go horribly wrong for me because I've never done it before, but let's just see what happens. So we're gonna go Rails G migration, add index for full text search to listings. That's fine for now. So we're gonna run that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab this guy here. We're gonna open up here and we're gonna go down to our migrations and go away, chuck that there. So the column is going to be listings. And we're gonna grab, we actually need to do this on 2 columns. I wonder how we can do this. So we really need to go title, TS vector. I mean, we probably don't even need to have that there. And description. Let's see if this works. Otherwise we're gonna have a real sad time. We're gonna go Rails DB migrate and see what happens. Okay. Let's see, did it break our data? No, that's good. And then we're gonna go here, indexes. Where are you? Full text to listings. Interesting that that's not here, is it? I'll have a look. Okay, interesting. It doesn't seem to actually want to do that. So that whole migration doesn't work for some reason. So we're gonna go Rails D migration. You know what? Stuff it. Let's just do this. Delete. So that actually, I'm looking that didn't do anything. So roll that back. And the way you can check is you can just go select all from PG indexes, table and anything, and you can see it's just not there. Okay, here we go. So in here, we're gonna go change, and it's not gonna be changed, it's gonna be up and down. So we're gonna execute some SQL, we're gonna alter table listings, and we're gonna add a new column called searchable. I'm gonna say this is searchable text. I think that just makes it easier. It's a TS vector. I wonder if it is text though. This is gonna be interesting. So we'll see what my naming convention, if it's good or right. So we're gonna create a TS vector, generate always as set weight to TS vector English coalesce title or an empty string, A, weighting, or we're gonna set weight TS vector coalesce description to B. Okay, and that's gonna be stored, and that's gonna be in this text, and that's gonna go there. All right, let's run it and see what happens. Rails DB migrate. Okay, it ran I've never seen that in a while. So let's go have a look here. We haven't added any indexes. So we run this, check listings, check fields. Something is not right. Luxury stays. Alter table listings. I have a feeling something's not right. Luxury stays development. Doesn't seem to be working here. Listings. What is going on? Are we using, let's just make sure we're using Postgres. We're probably using, no, we're using Postgres. Luxury stays. What database are you connecting to? This is blowing my mind. Luxury stays development, listings. It's not showing up. There it is. This is not showing up there. How mental. Here's the searchable text anyway. So it's actually not text at all. So you can see I've already made a mistake. So look, it's a bunch of index here. So let's go Rails DB rollback and just rename that column. So it's not called text. It's called searchable. Searchable. Let's just keep it in there. Searchable. Okay. Rails DB migrate. There we go. This is tripping me out. So it's not showing in here for some reason, but it is showing in here. Okay, well that's good. And here's the breakdown, right? So we can actually see what positions all these have and the ranking. So that's the highest ranked thing because that's the name, bunker and house, 1A and 2A, and then everything else is ranked B. So that's very cool. This is all very cool. So that's all good. And then what we can do is we can add the index here. So we're going to add the searchable index to listings. Okay, so we're going to go Rails G migration again, add index to searchable, let's add searchable index to listings. Probably the best name here. Boom. Okay, and then we're going to just grab this index here. So we're going to disable this because this can't run in a transaction block. There, and we're going to add the index. And this is another thing to call out, right? So we're going to add listings, but I want to call this out for you. So we're going to add the index to the searchable column on listings using gin. Algorithm concurrently. If you have a lot of data in your database, don't just run add indexes without using this because you're going to lock up your whole database and it's not fun, okay? So just please use this always. It just makes life so much easier. Let's run Rails DB migrate. Chuck that on there. Now let's see something wrong in my thing. If it's even adding. There, it's done it there, gin. Create index, perfect, sweet. So that's got it ready to go. Okay, now let's keep going down here. So we should still be able to go in here and run our query. We don't have the rank, but here we go. Search listing dovecote, boom. Okay, and 7.6 milliseconds to run that job. So it's all indexed now. So as we grow, we're not going to get stung by that. So that's all happy days. So basically, that's all we need to do the full text search. Like our controller now, we can implement the search listing when we have a string and we can chuck that in there and then return the results and actually start building this out. The only other thing that we probably want to do is if we want to be able to search multiple things. So here at the moment, we're only searching these listings, but if you wanted to search like beaches as well, or places, we'd need a multi-search. I think we just have to have a look at how that works. Okay, so this is actually where it gets really, really interesting. So what we want to do here is we're going to run this migration, right? So we're going to exit out of this. We're going to run Rails G PG search migration multi-search. We're going to chuck that there. It's going to create us a little new table. So from here, we're going to see what we're going to say with time. Okay, cool. So it's just going to tell us what it's doing, creating a table. It's going to create a PG search documents. It's going to have content and it belongs to a searchable thing, which is polymorphic. That's cool. And then it's going to drop it there. Great. Very simple. So let's run that. Rails DB migrate, chuck that in there. And now let's see, we've got a new table. This is a very cool gem, I must say. So we're going to go PG search documents. And in here, we've got an index, great. And then we're gonna see here, we've got content, searchable type, searchable ID. So the content here will be all good to go. And we've migrated that. So now what we can do here, this is very interesting. So we can go into our listing and we can actually go in here. So let's close off this migration and this one. And now we're gonna go here. We can also say here, multi-searchable against title and description. Now I wonder if we can use the exact same style here, like that, bang. So that's there. But what we also want to do is we want to go into our little friend of places And we want to also add that in. So we're going to add the model here too. Because these are both, I think places and listings both have descriptions and titles, but let's just have a quick look. So if we go here, places, cool, excellent. Crash. Doesn't like it. So luxury stage development, ignore here, places, title and description. So we've got both, okay? So we're gonna do title and description, exactly the same thing there. PG search model. Now, this is interesting because we might even like be able to get rid of the other code we did, because this might be it depends how we want to implement. We might be wanting to implement just being able to search a listing by itself, or with this multi-search kind of bigger oversight. What's it called? A cross-site search, like a full website search or app search. And you can see here, it's very cool how you can, each thing can have different properties that you're searching against. Very, very cool. So now how do we generate our indexes? That's the first thing we're going to have to do. So how do we actually regenerate all the indexes? Because at the moment, we're not going to have any here. So we can go here and rebuild our indexes, because at the moment we've got none, right? So if we go in here and look inside, we've got absolutely nothing. So let's just run this and see what happens. So we go in here, Rails C, and we're going to say we want to do it for the listing. Rollback. Title A is not a symbol or a string. Okay, so maybe we can't do this. This title and this is description. So maybe it doesn't like that with weightings. There we go. Reload. There we go. Did it do anything though? There we go. Content. Searchable type. Searchable ID. Now it's interesting that it doesn't actually create this as the actual searchable text there that we wanted. But let's do the same for places. Okay. So we've got that there now. Now let's see how we can run this. So we're going to go multi-search. Multi-search. And then where do we run it? Here we go. So we're going to go PG search, multi-search. And now we're searching all of our records across everything. And if we just went Kayama, there you go. So we've got Graylee's, Kayama's unique, but we've got a place here. So realistically, we want this to rank higher because you're searching for a place. But you can see here, we're now searching across multiple things. And you can see there's two different types. We've got a listing and a place. So that's very, very cool. Interesting, it looks like you can't actually do weighting for multi-search. So looks like it's still even in 2022. It started in 2013 to 2022. There is no way to do that. But I'm wondering if we could possibly use the listing, if we could use the, what's this field that we've created? So if we go into listings, I wonder if we created this searchable and let it do its thing on that. So I wonder if that could actually work. What is searchable though? So if we look at listings, we go to searchable. I don't know why this is not here. Checks, indexes, links. There, it's a method. That's why it's not there. And it's a TS vector method. So let's see if we can try and turn that into a TS vector method, which will be interesting. So what I'm going to do as an experiment is I'm going to say add searchable to PG search documents. You've also got to run a migration first, champ. So we're going to go Rails G migration here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say the same thing. But what we're going to do is this one. So let's grab this, chuck that in there. So up, we're going to go alter table, and this is going to be PG search documents. It's searchable, and it's going to just actually just be the one title. Like, is this, let's just have a look here. It almost feels like this isn't doing what it needs to do. So we go listings, PG search documents. Okay, so look, so what you can see here, it's actually joining. We just don't have a description in here yet, so that's fine. But you can see a bunker house, and then it adds it all in. So we can actually just do this on the content, but now we can't rank it. That's annoying. So this multi-search thing's quite interesting, but it also has a few limitations here. So, because we want to be able to weight these things. So that's interesting. Can't do that. So what I think what we're going to do here is we're not going to have this. So add searchable. So we haven't run that migration, so we can delete that because it's not actually possible. It's just, that's just literally content. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll back this guy as well, this multi-search, because it's an interesting concept and it's something you could use, but it's probably not just for this project. Because I do want to weight, I would want to weight a listing above a place, or even if the name, you know what I mean, like the title, sorry, should be weighted higher than the description, but we can't do that. So that's a bit lame. So that's fine. Let's go have a look. So that column's gone, but what we do still have is a searchable column here. So that work is still there. So that's still solid. Okay, so it was nice. We went down a little road, didn't work. Searchable on here. So what we want to do is exactly the same thing. So what we'll end up doing is we'll probably just do 2 queries. It's not as efficient. Please don't get too hung up on that, but it's not. So create PG search documents. You can go sayonara because we don't want you. Then we want, so we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to have add searchable to places. Now we're going to go Rails G migration add searchable to places. And so it's identical to this, right? So it's the same thing. I'm going to chuck that in here, and it's just, instead of listings, it's places, and it has a title and a description exactly the same. Now, one thing we also need to probably do is when you create a place here, or when you update it, this needs to happen and build. So I wonder, this is a alter table add column searchable. So I wonder if this will automatically update. That's just something to check. So let's go and run that. And we'll test it in a second. So we're going to just Rails DB migrate there. So now we should have a places on here. We've got the same method here. We go to places. There we go. We got that all happening. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go we're going to index. Where are we? We've done it before. Add index full text to listing. So we're going to go to places now. Same thing, right? Grab this, paste it here, and then we're going to go places, searchable. Boom. All right, so we've got an index on that now. Okay, great. So let's have a look. So that's sitting there. Now, what happens if we update Kayama, right? If we go Rails C, I have a feeling it's not going to automatically do it, so we're going to have to do it ourselves. But let's go place.find, and the ID is 1. And then let's just have a quick look for Kayama. Is it coastal town? Thank you very much. And then we're going to say update, and we're going to say description is equal to this. PG search documents. Let's just reload this. You know what it is? It's probably in here. This multi-searchable. We don't have that. Good. And then this needs to go as well. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, update places, set description. Now, let's have a look in here. There you go. Okay, so it automatically updates. It's a little function inside of Postgres that's running. So you can see all the little bits and pieces are done there. Now what we can do is we can just go grab this listing search scope and add it to our place. And we're going to say search place. Is it search places or search place? I think it's individual. And then we're going to do title exactly the same, right? Exactly the same stuff. So now let's go reload. And now what we can say is place.search place. I almost feel like it should be search places, and then we just go Kayama, and there we go. So, and let's see if we say coast. Nothing, okay. I wonder if it's coastal. Yep, so it finds coastal. I wonder why it doesn't match partial words. That is something. I wonder if you do, nah. I wonder how that actually works, how to do that partial match, because that is also like, obviously if you type coast, you want to find coastal. That seems like the right way for me. But anyway, so we've got searching now. So for us, we can now implement the controller method, right? So we know the results are coming through. Now we're on this dashboard screen. So that's the it's not the dashboard, it's the home controller, right? So what we want to do here is probably have do we have a search screen, right? Do we take you to a search screen, or do we just leave you here? So yeah, I think what we're going to do is we're going to add a search screen, and then we're going to say, basically we're going to do this. It's going to be listing is equal to listing.search listing. I'm going to call that because I don't understand I think we need to have plural here. Search listings and search places, right? I just think that makes more sense to me in my brain. Search listings, and then here we're going to go params string, right? So whatever was string we pass in there, that's what we're going to do here. And then we're also going to go places. And I think this is probably not a bad idea, because what we could do is we could choose how we want to show these and split them into parts, like go places here and then listings here, or have them in different layouts. So we're going to go place, search places, like that, okay? And we're going to get 2 sets of results. Now we are doing 2 DB queries, and that's fine and understandable in this instance here. So we are in the home controller, then we're going to have search.html.erb. Let's copy all this. And now we're going to just have nothing here. And we're just going to go hello, and we all need to add our routes. So we're going to have, where is home? So here's home. So this is the public stuff. So here we're going to say get search. And I guess that can just go, that's in the V1 namespace. So it's going to go search, and that's going to go to its home/search. Sorry, home search. Let's see if that actually works. No, because we're not running our server. I'm going to go bin dev. Okay. There we go. All right, so we've got our search there. All right, so what we can do is we can grab, now we're going to create some components, because what we want to copy is this guy here. So we're going to go search slash, I guess it's the search box, and then we're going to have the different things. So components, and that's not on the landing page, but it's going to be the search page. So I'm going to go here. Do we have public? This is listing detail, listing that. So yeah, so what we'll do here now is we're going to go Rails G view component, and it's going to be search page slash search, and then it's going to be search page slash results. It could be results, could be listings, could be places. We could split this as a component, but I feel like they might look quite similar. So maybe we can do results and we can split the results into, or you know what we should do? Let's just go start with listings. Okay, we're gonna just chuck a component there. So the first thing we're gonna do here is go bang, search. So this is search page, and this is search. That's gonna be the search component. And then here we're gonna have the listings. And then we're gonna pass in the listings here. Right? And then we can add places. So I think listings are the most important because we kind of want to feature those, and then we can put the places down, or we'll figure out what we need to do. It is tough when you have like one single search because you don't know the intent, like what are you exactly trying to find? But that is all part of the fun. So let's go here. Where are we in controllers? We're in the home, we're in the index, but we also need to grab. We probably need to pull out this featured search box. I think we should rip out this search box. So we're gonna go Rails G view component, and it's gonna be search box. Yeah, I think let's just call it with that. It's not gonna work. View component. Okay, so let's grab everything here. And we're gonna move that into our search box component. Okay, and then we are going to fix up this hero because you need a search box component now, chief. So it's gonna be component search box. And I think what we can do, we can pass a value, and this will be params string. Okay. So here, and then let's just put that in there. So we're gonna have option value, and that's gonna be default proc string, just an empty string. And then that will be here on our input value, yeah? Okay. Let's go back to here and just make sure we haven't broken it. So it's still, whoa, that still looks fine. Okay, and then search. So now what we can do is we can actually just grab this component, reuse it. So that's good. That's why components are so fun. So inside of our search page, inside of search, we're pretty much just gonna render the search box, right? So here we're just gonna go for now. And then we're gonna go value is params string and close that off. There we go. So the reason why it is probably good to have this in here, like a special little its own component, is we can style around it because we don't want our components to have any like padding or anything in them. And that needs to be a section. Wow, come on, mate. So let's go flex. We're gonna go W4, and we're gonna go padding Y8. W4. Wonder why that's happening. Let's make sure our search box component is W4 as well. There we go. Wonderful. And that scales down beautifully. Excellent. So now what we're going to have, like if we had our string here, right, it's going to be Kayama. There you go. All right. So that's going to show up in our little box right there. Let me make that bigger as well for everyone. So we're good, right? So that's looking excellent. Now in here, same thing. Let's go section. Close that off. Boom, boom, boom. Here, class. Now, realistically, this is a grid. So we're going to copy what we did with the landing featured listings. This is very similar. So it's where we have to decide, like, do we want to use the same component for like a feature listing? Is this what a result looks like? Or does a result look more like a list? Let's have a look at, like, I like to look at other companies that are doing it really well. You know, these people know they've spent lots of more money than me on UX. So if we search, what do we look? We get a tile, which is very similar. So we could probably, if you have a look here, are these the same? They're almost the same tile, right? They are actually the same tile. So what we can do here is now, instead of having this featured listing thing, I'm gonna grab this component and pull it up into components here. Now that is gonna break a few things. So let's just go in here and I'm gonna rename it. I'm gonna call it listing tile, right? And here, so this is all fine, but then in here, this is where it's gonna break. So we're gonna go here, turn this, and it's just now gonna be called listing tile component. And then inside of our featured, when we're looping through, we're now just gonna grab listing tile like that. Now that should still work for us. So let's have a look. All happy, everything's happy. So that's good. Now what we can do here is in the search page, in the listings, what are we gonna do? We're gonna accept an option called listings. And I do this always, and I don't know, but I just like to say listing.none here. So you pass in a scope of nothing, just so if you haven't received anything or something, it just doesn't break. It's probably stupid, but anyway. Listings.do, and then here we're gonna go bang, and then we're gonna go listing tile, right? Fix that up. Okay, and then this is just gonna say listings. And do we even need it? Probably not, right? Do we need to have a label there? No. But anyway, let's go back to our search page now and go Kayama. How funny is that? It's already working, right? Now if we get rid of this, nothing. Okay, so what we need to do is go up into our controller, and what we're gonna say is listing. Now, do we have a concept of publish? See, this is another thing we need to think about. Do you publish a listing before it goes live? So we don't have that right now. So we might have to have a published Boolean, right? And then what we can say is only show me published listings. So we can do that. That's an improvement for later. So we don't have that right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say listings is equal to listings.all. Then we're gonna say listings is equal to listings dot search listings, right? But what I like to do, I like to break filters down like this, and I'm gonna just say here it's gonna be string, because we could have eventually could have different parameters that you want to search. But what we're gonna say is if params string dot present, so we're gonna check here if there's present, then we're gonna add that scope. Otherwise we're not gonna bother, and then run it. Okay, so now what we can see is we've got a page that if there's nothing in the string, if you've literally just gone blank, we're gonna get everything. But then if we're gonna go like gray, I wonder if that'll work. I need to implement this first. So let's just use this guy here, gray. I wonder how you do partial matches, because that is something that I do want to do. I feel like when you search gray, it should find Gray Lee. But if you go here and you go bunker, you go South Coast comes up because that has South Coast in there. So you can see now, so we've got our search working. We just have to implement this, right? So that piece is coming next. Okay, so to do that, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go into our little search box component, and we're gonna actually turn this, instead of being a div, let's turn this into a form. Okay, so a form helper looks like this. We're gonna go form with, I'll break this down here so we can see. And what does URL for? So actually we don't want this, because URL for will use the current URL. So if you're on the index, it's going to search on that page, but we don't. We actually want to use a search page. So let's have a look at Rails, Rails routes, grep search, chuck that in. V1 search, cool, that's easy as V1 search path. And we're going to use get, and now the class is going to be this whole thing here. Right, so we don't need this anymore. And then what we're gonna do here is we're just gonna end. Sweet. Okay, let's just make sure it all looks the same. Great. Get path thing, boom. And then we need to give this input a name. So I just like to sort my params here. We're gonna go name is equal to string. Sweet. So you could use we should probably just use the field component here, but let's just see if this works. Yeah, okay, so we're working, right? So if we now type gray, you can see that it actually, we need to maintain focus there. So we can look at that. And then what we want to do is probably also say like, it's not found, right? There's a lot to be desired here with the search, but we can fix all that. We also want to show like a spinner here and all that kind of stuff, but it looks like right now, it does search, right? So when we hit enter, because it's a form component, you can hit enter, we can hit Gray Lee and then hit the button and it's changing here. And the nice thing is all stored, so you can actually share. If people are like, oh, look at these cool places I found, they can share it with their friends very easily. So that's the listings there. And what we can do to be, as well as if we want to, we can go here, render. There's a method here on the components called render. And it says, should it render? And what you can say is listings.present. Or sorry, even any. Yes, it makes another query, probably not that efficient, but if we go see there, and if we search something like gray that we know doesn't think, there's nothing there, so it doesn't render that box. And then what we can do outside of in the search page is actually handle the where is it? So where are our listings coming from? It's on the, where are we? I've closed it here, search box. So what we could do here is, one, you have two options. You either show a blank state when there's no listings, say no listings found, or no places found, or what we do is we just be smart enough where we can say, if none of these are there, we could do like a blank state here that just throws. So that's going to be up to the design and how you feel like you want to handle that. But let's quickly generate the places one, because we can smash that out at the same time, just to make sure it all works. So view components, search pattern, this is going to be places. Cool, so we've got our places component. Now look, it's for now, it's exactly the same as this, which will change over time. So let's go here, chuck that in there. And in here, we're going to go option places. And then the same thing, default, proc, place.none. Cool. And here we're going to loop through places, place, and that'll be a place tile. So we need to create that. And this is place in place, right? Chuck that, this is places. Sweet. So now moving on, we need to create a place tile, which I don't think we have yet, no. So what we can do is we can copy this little component, chuck it in here, rename it, place tile, and we have to name this here. And it brings in a place, and it's very similar, right? So it's v1 place path, which probably doesn't exist yet. If it has a default image, let's see if this even works, because there's places. Let's see Kayama. Yep, v1 place path doesn't exist yet, so let's go here. Public, so here, now we need to go here and we're gonna add in places. So we need to add this. This is another video. Show, yep. Sweet, and we'll add a gallery to that as well. So there it is. This needs to be Kayama. Default image, cool. So we need to define that a place can have an image. So there we go. So we need this guy. Has many images of subjects already there, so it's just literally this one. There we go. There we go. Now we just want to obviously give some space between these two, so we can find them. And you know what you could even do, to be honest, is we could even, I wonder if this like looks silly, but what we could even do is we could create a results one, and we can do a combo. So this is obviously, there's no designs, I'm just playing with things, but let's see what happens if we just render them all in line. So what I'll do is I'll create a search page, and I'm just gonna go here, results, like I wanted to in the beginning, but it always happens. So let's close this. So we're gonna go into our places here, we're gonna grab that, we're gonna go into results, and this we're gonna just call results. And you can literally just do this. We can go whatever we want to feature first. So this is where I'm like, so we can take in results here. And this, we don't have a scope. So we're just going to go default, and it's going to be a proc, and it's just going to be an empty array. Now what we can do is at the controller level. So where is our controller? V1 search. So what we want to do here is see if we can combine the two results here. So what we can do quite simply, which is a bit cheeky, but for now, we can go, the results is listings plus places. All right, this is, look, this is not the best, but we're gonna just run with this for an example, just to check it out, see what it looks like. Because yeah, you wanna be able to like weight them and do all sorts of stuff, but for now, I think it'll do. It'll do. We're just building a prototype, so we wanna make sure we get users first before worrying about everything else. So here we're gonna go results. Okay, open up this sick icon here. So options, undefined method option. Yeah, okay, well that makes sense. I've made a typo there. It's option. Undefined method places. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go results.each, result. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna say here, now we're gonna have an if statement. So we're gonna say, if result.is a listing, and then we're gonna go else if place, then we're gonna end. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna say that goes there, that goes there, this goes listing tile, this is listing, and it's a result that we're passing in, and this is place. Let's see if that works. There we go, boom, now we've got two. I think for now, I actually like this better. So I'm gonna get rid of these two for now. Right, so now we can actually combine our listings and our places in here. So if we go Lee, there, if we go Bunker, if we go Gerringong, see? So that, I think that looks cool, and we can change the look slightly how we want to do it depending on what we want to do here, but I think that's pretty cool. So just before I go, I want to just show you something else that I've just a few little things that I've just figured out. So what we can do is from here, before, you know, we're talking about like you can't, you know, the places, and we kind of just joining the two to an array. But what I've done here now is I found you can add this little thing with PG search rank. So it's going to return the ranking that we got from the search. So that's super important, because in that we can say the highest ranking things can come to the top. Now what we're doing is we're combining the listings and the places into an array, then we're sorting them by their rank. And what that does now is when we type in Gerringong, like this, we hit search, we now get Gerringong as a place. And I've just put these little rankings down here at the moment so we can see how they all rank. So now instead of Bunker House coming first because it had the word Gerringong in the description, Gerringong as a place is coming up. So that means now we can have combined results set and the best results coming to the top. So that is a really cool find right there. And then another thing that we were having a problem was, like, remember we were trying to find Dove coat. You could only do the full word. If you now type Dove, you can actually get the combined there. Now this is interesting why this one is coming. We just need to fix the sort there because that is weighted higher. So that should really come first. So, but you can see we're getting partial matches now. And all we had to do there was just add T search and just add the prefix true. And then that allows us to do partial words. So before I wanted to go, I wanted to show you those tricks. So I will catch you guys on the next one.